Tell me why it is January 1st. I genuinely was about to say 2020, because that's all I can think about. It's January 1st, 2025, and I opened my TikTok today, and all I see are people trying to bring back 2020 anime TikTok. And I'm so happy about it. And I immediately had to jump on here and talk about it because I was already planning to make this video to be cringes to be free and talk about why you shouldn't be embarrassed about being cringe. Do I think that people are just bringing back this trend just to feel that sense of nostalgia for the last time they've truly felt happy? Maybe coincidentally, when all this pop culture stuff was happening in 2020 was the last time as a society we felt real? No, that can't possibly be it. Is this gonna last for like maybe a couple weeks? Maybe. Regardless, I have a lot to say on this topic. As you can see, I dressed for the occasion and I am to a victim. Participated in a very important moment of history. I was there for the sparkly anime profile pictures. I was there when the only subcategories of TikTok were alt talk and straight talk. I was there when alt talk was against straight talk for straight talk. This is what it was just called, okay? When there were trending audios from like Death Note and stuff like that on alt talk, and then straight talk would take them because they're just trending audios, and they would use the audios, and everyone on the alt side of TikTok would get mad at straight talk because obviously straight talk didn't actually watch the anime, they're just using the audio. Yes, it sounds really stupid, but it was a thing. I was there for all the hand signs. I was there for this. I was there for all those trending anime is an important part of our culture. You just had to be there. And I remember the trending eyeliner at the time was to take the wing, and then once you get to this corner of your eye, you take it like that and then go in instead of doing like a full-on wing. So whenever you closed your eye, you would see everyone's eyeliner would go down like that. Yeah, I was there for that. There's so many other examples I can put out there, but it was a time. Would I go back? Absolutely not. 2020 was the worst year of my entire life, but the pop culture at the time was thriving. So I completely understand why people are bringing back this time because it's just so nostalgic. As much as we can force it, I don't think we can truly go back and feel and experience the things that we did at the time when it was happening, but we can still appreciate it and try to experience it for what it was, just for a little bit. I wanted to talk about why to be cringe is to be free. I feel certified to talk about this because I may not look like it, but I grew up a weird kid. Insert this video as proof. This is literally a video of me doing the Naruto run in a Sans jacket. So those are my credentials. I grew up a weird kid. I was the outcast kid. I was the kid that liked anime and certain subcultures and fandoms before it was trending and became popular now. Back in the day, I was wearing freaking Ruby shirts. I was wearing Naruto shirts. I was wearing Ruby shirts to school, and I would get made fun of and bullied so bad for wearing those to school, and I never wore them to school again because people's words just get to you. I wanted to come on here and reflect from my own personal experience from being a weird kid to there was a point in my high school years where I completely changed how I dressed and acted just so people would like me, and I never expressed my true interests to people because I was embarrassed by them. And then now, as an adult, I'm finally getting back into those interests and having no shame about it, and it is so freeing. When I originally started writing the outline for this video idea is when I first finished Murder Drones, and this was a couple months ago, probably around the end of the summer. If you don't know what Murder Drones is, it is a indie animation series on YouTube. It's about these drones that murder each other for their own reasons. I started to hyperfixate on that series for quite some time when I finished it a couple months ago, and then it's kind of what got me to realize that I like being cringe. During the summer when I discovered Murder Drones, It was popping up on my FYP all the time. It was trending at the time. And I remember seeing scenes of Uzi, the main character in the show. I remember seeing scenes of Uzi just saying most cringiest fanfiction-esque YN 13-year-old edgy teenager lines in written dialogue I have ever witnessed on an animated series.
Uzi is...
Oh, hell yeah! I'm a damaged OC.
And so whenever I saw those clips on my FYP, I'm like, this is so weird and cringe, and I'm not watching this show. I caved and I watched it anyway, and guess what? I love it. That show is kind of what snapped me out of feeling like things are cringe, because we live in a world nowadays where you could literally just be dancing at a middle school dance, right? Being yourself, and someone could record you and post it on TikTok, and it can go viral and people will just make fun of you. And that's not normal. And I think an example like that is why people are so afraid to be themselves. Anyone in the world can see it, and you'll get the opinions of hundreds of thousands of people who probably also feel the same way, like they want to express themselves but they can't, because I guess everything is cringe now for some reason. Like, everything is cringe. And I even caught myself in this own mindset. Like, I will catch myself saying, oh my gosh, I don't want to do that because that would be so embarrassing, and it's literally like something so irrelevant. Like, I remember I was talking about trends where people are switching to flip phones to kind of detox from social media, so they'll only have a flip phone. And I remember talking about this out loud to someone and being like, I would love to do that, but I personally never would, because I feel like it would be so embarrassing to own a flip phone. And then she goes, well, it's only embarrassing if you make it to be embarrassing. And she is so right for that. And that's just kind of an example that goes to show, like, for some reason everything is embarrassing now, when it really doesn't have to be. It's only embarrassing if you make it to be embarrassing. Back to Murder Drones. Whenever I finish the series, because the show's humor is so unique, and the cringe humor I was talking about, it's intentional, and that's the whole point of, like, the humor aspect of the show, is the cringe dialogue is intentional. You kind of grow to like that kind of humor. Made me realize I miss being cringe. I will never experience being a 13-year-old girl staying up all night in the middle of the summer on Wattpad. I will never experience that ever again. It just made me think back to moments like that. I'll never be 16 in 2020 skipping online school and staying up late to binge an entire anime. I will never be 14 years old on Discord writing XD in the chat. I never tell people that I watch My Hero because the fandom makes it so incredibly embarrassing. But I shouldn't care about that, because if I like something and I'm not participating in diabolical things the fandom does, then it's fine. I should be able to say that I like watching the show. And I want to be honest about something. I do have one of those I liked this thing before it was cool complexes. I do actually prefer that anime is mainstream now, and Five Nights at Freddy's and like all that kind of stuff is mainstream and popular now, because now I can openly like it without being bullied. But at the same time, you just had to be there when anime wasn't cool and it was considered weird. I just never thought that I would be living in a time where it was popular now. People that are making fun of you for your interests or you just being yourself, as long as you're not harming other people, those people that are making fun of other people for being themselves are the ones that are not trying. They're the ones that are too afraid to do anything. Notice that the people that are making fun of you for doing that are not doing anything. Those people wish they could be expressing themselves how they want to, but they don't, and they're projecting it onto the people that do. They are afraid of being perceived themselves, and so when they see other people around them that are not afraid to outwardly express who they are, they get insecure and they project that onto them. So that's why I'm so thrilled to see people bringing back 2020 anime TikTok, because I do remember there was a time not too long ago where people were making fun of 2020 anime TikTok, and honestly, I get why. I feel like it was the last time online people really expressed themselves and everyone was pretty much outwardly supportive of it. Now, I feel like if you were to do like the cosplay hands, people would be like, That's so cringe. The thing is about these kinds of trends, they go by really fast. I really don't see this lasting more than a couple weeks. If you want to dress like 2020, if you want to have a manga wall, if you want to do big black eyeliner, if you want to wear the demonias, if you want to dress like that, you can do that without other people making it a trend. Honestly, I was going to start doing the 2015 Victoria's Secret Tumblr aesthetic because 2025, it's giving 2015. That's the aesthetic I was going to replicate this year, but I also like the fact that we're kind of doing 2020 and I want to do that as well. Like, you can do whatever you want. Like, we have free will. We can dress like it's 2016 and we can dress like it's 2019 at the same time. To be cringe is to be free, because the times that I was the most quote-unquote cringe, I did feel pretty happy about myself as a person. Whenever I was not afraid to express myself when I was in middle school, I was the kid that did the Naruto running in the halls wearing a Sans jacket. I had a group of friends at the time that were exactly like me. We would draw our OCs together and like make all these storylines and plot lines with our OCs, and we would always talk about the Undertale lore, and it was so fun at the time. And it's like, why don't I do that now like I used to? And so that's why it is freeing to be cringe. And you don't even have to label these things that you're interested in as cringe. Like, it's okay. It's okay to like these things. To conclude this video, I'm so happy they're bringing back 2020 TikTok, but not only that, do that cosplay, write that fan fiction, put those pins on your bag, put those anime pins on your bag, okay? Wear those shirts that say, I paused my video game to be here. Wear those to family events. Do it. I dare you to do it. Draw your OCs. I want to see you guys draw your OCs with the hands behind the back because you can't draw hands. I want to see that shit. Participate in fandom culture as long as it's not hurting other people. Post that TikTok, post that YouTube video. Don't you dare let society's cringe culture stop you from expressing yourself.